The hidden manipulation tactics in modern relationships. Let's talk about manipulation in relationships. It's more common than you might think. Manipulation tactics work beneath the surface, subtle enough that you might miss them, but powerful enough to control your behavior. These tactics aren't random, they're systematic approaches that exploit specific vulnerabilities, especially in men. One of the most common tactics is what I call the jealousy test. This happens when your partner deliberately mentions other interested people, talks about their exes, or creates situations where you feel threatened. They might casually mention how someone flirted with them at work, or how an ex reached out to them. The goal is to trigger your protective instincts and increase your investment in the relationship. Men often mistake this for passion. When you feel that surge of jealousy, your brain interprets it as intense feelings for your partner. You think, I must really care about this person if I feel this strongly. But genuine connection doesn't require manufactured competition. When someone consistently puts you in positions where you need to fight for them, they're testing your boundaries, not your love. Take Tom's experience. His girlfriend regularly posted pictures with male friends while ignoring his texts. When he expressed discomfort, she accused him of being controlling. Yet when he spoke to female colleagues, she became visibly upset. This double standard was a calculated way to keep him off balance while maintaining her freedom. The key takeaway: consistent double standards aren't coincidental, they're deliberate control mechanisms. Another powerful tactic involves strategic emotional outbursts. A calm discussion suddenly turns into tears, shouting, or dramatic declarations. While emotions are natural, these displays aim to short-circuit your thinking brain. When your partner erupts emotionally, your focus shifts from the issue at hand to managing their feeling. The original problem, often something they did, gets buried under your efforts to restore peace. Men are particularly vulnerable here because many of us are taught to fix problems. We see an upset partner and immediately try to solve the situation. This becomes problematic when it forms a pattern. Is the emotional reaction proportional? Does it happen whenever you bring up certain topics? Does it mysteriously resolve once you've apologized or given? One client, Michael, noticed his girlfriend would cry whenever he mentioned spending time with friends. A pattern so consistent that he began avoiding these gatherings altogether. What appeared as sensitivity was actually a mechanism that isolated him from his support network. Perhaps the most insidious tactic is constantly shifting expectations. Today your partner loves your ambition. Tomorrow you're too focused on work. Today they appreciate your calm demeanor. Tomorrow you're emotionally unavailable. This moving target ensures you're always slightly off balance, constantly trying to adjust to changing standards. This tactic works because it creates uncertainty. You never quite know where you stand, so you work harder for approval. You become focused on figuring out what they want, rather than asking if this relationship serves your needs. The psychological impact is substantial. You start questioning your perception of reality, a process known as gaslighting. These manipulation tactics create a cycle of emotional dependency. You become reliant on your partner's approval, which they give and withhold strategically. Your self-worth becomes tied to their validation. You start measuring your value through their reactions, rather than your own standard. Stoic philosophy offers valuable insight here. Stoicism teaches the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. You can't control another person's behavior, but you can control your response to it. When you recognize that your partner's approval falls outside your control, you begin breaking free from the manipulation cycle. Some subtle tactics go unnoticed for years. Your partner might use "we" language when restricting your behavior. "We don't like when you stay out late." But "you" language when assigning blame. "You always make me feel insecure." They might rewrite history, claiming they never said things they definitely did. They might give compliments containing hidden criticisms. "You look nice today. That outfit is much better than what you usually wear." Another subtle approach involves creating obligation. They might do unrequested favors, and then expect something in return, or make sacrifices you never asked for, then use these as leverage later. This creates a sense of debt that can be called in whenever they want something from you. Pay attention to how criticism is delivered. Constructive feedback focuses on specific behaviors with care for your feelings. Manipulative criticism attacks your character with phrases like, "you always," or "you never," in patterns designed to diminish your confidence. Also notice how disagreements unfold. Do you find yourself apologizing, even when you've done nothing wrong? Does resolving conflict always require you to give in? Does your partner withdraw affection when displeased? These signal manipulation. Manipulation thrives when we lack emotional self-governance. When you haven't developed the ability to regulate your emotions, external triggers can easily control your behavior. Stoicism emphasizes developing inner stability to prevent emotions from controlling your actions. Think about your last relationship conflict. Did you make decisions based on fear, insecurity, or the desire to end uncomfortable feelings? This emotional reactivity creates the perfect environment for manipulation. The goal isn't to control others but to stop being controlled. When you establish inner stability, you create the foundation for healthier relationships based on mutual respect rather than emotional leverage. Understanding why men are particularly vulnerable to these tactics is crucial for developing effective countermeasures. Throughout our journey, we've explored how Stoicism provides tools for responding to emotions wisely, not eliminating them. As Epictetus taught, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. This insight reveals that our judgments, not external events, create our emotional reactions. Becoming unshakable is a daily practice. Each time you distinguish between what you can and cannot control in a relationship, you strengthen this muscle. Start small. Apply one concept tomorrow. Notice how it affects your responses. What situation could benefit from this wisdom today? With consistent practice, you'll build relationships based on strength rather than need.